Well, the Detroit Lions have made a lot of roster moves since last time I have gone on this channel. So, the Lions, they have made not major, but many roster moves over the past couple of days. As first starting here, this happened yesterday. Lions announced roster moves according to Detroit Lions Twitter. Waived injured wide receiver Antoine Green. All seems like all Lions fans love Antoine Green. Don't know why. I had his back behind him in college. I liked when we drafted him, but I'm like, this guy's just probably gonna be a practice squad guy. He could turn into a guy that could be good, but I always thought he was just like a six-string practice squad type of guy. I never thought he could be. I thought he could, but I was not like, oh yeah, immediately he can be a wide receiver number 3, wide receiver number 4. Like I feel like some Lions fans feel that way. Released offensive lineman Ike Boker. This one is a little bit surprising to me. We just signed him the other week. And I really liked when we signed the guy. Honestly, I liked the way he did in Buffalo. So I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. I'm just a little bit surprised as well because we need a guard, another guard in my opinion. Could Big V be coming back? I'm on the Big V train now. I'm telling y'all right now that Big V is on his way back to Detroit after this game if any more injuries happen on the offensive line or if the offensive line continues to play bad. Signed quarterback Jake Fromm and linebacker Ty Summers. Now, both of these guys are very interesting. Specifically Jake Fromm. Now, I was not going to lie, I was extremely disappointed when the Lions signed Jake Fromm instead of a guy like Ryan Tannehill, Brian Hoyer, Blaine Gabbert, even Trevor Siemian. I was a little bit disappointed because I want a veteran guy who has experience in the league and does have some production, unlike Jake Fromm. Matter of fact, let's take a look at Jake Fromm's stats. Now, with Jake Fromm, I do like the signing. I really do. He's better than Nate Sudfeld. Anybody is better than Nate Sudfeld. But I wanted a guy who can compete with Hooker. Jake Fromm is not going to compete with Hooker. He's just not. In my opinion. I do like his college tape, but yeah. Jake Fromm, former 5th round pick back in 2020 by the Bills, never played a game with them, at least in the regular season. He's only played 1 year in the regular season. That was back in 2021. He has 3 career games in the regular season back in 2021. Only 45% completion percentage, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. That's about it. His college stats weren't bad at all. This is why he's a 5th round pick right here. He did very well throughout college, at least I thought, at Georgia. So, Jake Fromm, again, I really actually do like the pickup. I really do. He's better than Nate Sudfeld, no doubt about it. And I do have him making the practice squad over Nate Sudfeld. Nate Sudfeld, again, should not even be in the NFL. He's not even in the UFL. Not even in the CFL if you want to put him in there. He does not deserve to be in the football league. He would have to show... He can go to the UFL. Actually, go to the UFL. Show that you can be an NFL quarterback because you were just not. I'm sorry. You were literally Tim Boyle 2.0. That's exactly what you are. And you might be worse than Tim Boyle. Not even going to lie. I don't like to hate on players like this, but he might be worse than Tim Boyle, and that is very, very hard to accomplish. But we also have some other roster moves that happened today as well. And that we have waived UDFA linebacker Deron Gilbert and signed cornerback Essang Bassey. Now, these are very interesting. Deron Gilbert is injured. He will pass through waivers, obviously. No team is going to pick him up. He will revert to our IR, which from what I'm understanding, he is out the whole entire season. The reason why the Lions have not placed John Kaminsky and Emmanuel Mosley yet on injured reserve is because if they did that before roster cuts, they would be out the whole entire season. If we waive a guy like Deron Gilbert, that means if he passes through waivers, he can revert back to the team but be on IR. He's still out the whole entire season, but that means we have a roster spot open. The reason why they do not want to release Emmanuel Mosley or John Kaminsky, even though there would be the chance that they could pass through waivers and get placed on IR without and save a roster spot, because even though they're injured and since they haven't been placed on IR, they're still counting against the roster. So until they get placed on IR, they will count against the roster. But the reason why we haven't placed or released John Kaminsky and Emmanuel Mosley, to place them on IR and save a roster spot is because they don't think that they would pass through waivers. They want to play it safe. They want to hold on to him until roster cuts, and then they will place him on IR to where, because Kaminsky and Emmanuel Mosley could very well return before the end of the season. That's why. That is why they have not placed him on IR or released him to have the risk of him not passing through waivers. So that's why we've done that. But Deron Gilbert no longer short line. He will be in probably tomorrow once he passes through waivers. But once he does pass the waivers, he'll be placed on IR. Same thing with Antoine Green here. He'll be placed on IR once he passes through waivers. He'll be out the whole entire season, cannot return during the regular or postseason. So he will not be able to play again until next season. But Essang Bassey, this one is very, very interesting to me. And I mean very interesting. I think Essang Bassey has a legitimate chance to make the team. Former UDFA, went to Wake Forest. Last year, 13 solo tackles, 3 passes deflected. This is very interesting. He also played 11 games last year. Or, excuse me, 15 games. Played on the Chargers in Denver. That's what I thought. 11 seemed off to me. But Essang Bassey, he has a whole bunch of potential. He has a whole bunch of potential. And I like this move. Special team guy, he actually kick returns the ball as well, which is huge for us because we still haven't found that guy, in my opinion, yet. I don't know if he would be that, but let's take a look at his stats. First play back in 2020, had a pick. It was the only career pick. Had 2 passes deflected. Played 1 game in 2021. Played 14 in 2022 with Denver. Didn't really do much. 2 passes deflected. 2023 only played 4. No stats, essentially. In 2023, played with Denver and Chargers. Played 15 games total. 3 passes deflected. And yeah. So Essang Bassey. Guy has a chance to make the team. Hear me out. Even though he's just probably a camp body to a lot of people, I think he has a chance to make the team because Emmanuel Mosley will be out till either late in the season or till the postseason. And our cornerback room was not, in terms of depth, was not great during the Giants. So Essang Bassey is going to add some depth to that. He just turned 26, matter of fact, yesterday. So he's still very young. And he will definitely be competing, in my opinion, with the Stephen Gilmores, with the Morris Norris, with the Kendall Vildors for that last spot in the cornerback room. And do not be shocked at all if he makes the 53-man. I think for sure he is going to make the practice squad, but in terms of 53-man, he has to show some stuff in preseason, but he has a legitimate chance to make the team. Now, I forgot to pull up Ty's some stats real quick, so let me do that as well. He's also very intriguing. I've signed him multiple times in my Madden rebuilds, obviously not on the channel, but I've signed him multiple times in my Madden rebuilds. Oh, I knew who the guy was immediately once we signed him. Now I was actually extremely not happy with the signing yesterday because this is about the 10th linebacker we've signed this season, this offseason, so I was a little bit hesitant at first that we signed our 10th linebacker of the season, it feels like, during the offseason, but now that Deron Gilbert is out for the season, it makes sense. So, Ty Summers, former 7th round pick by the Pack in 2019, had one full time, no, that's preseason, excuse me. So he already played a game. So he just got released probably yesterday. Interesting. So he played 15 games last season. Didn't really record any stats, but he played 15 games last year. He's played most of his career. First season, 16 games. Second season, 16 games. 2021, 14 games. 2022 was the only season where he has not played over 10. He played 6 games in 2022 and played 15 in 2023. Ty Summers, probably just a camp body. Maybe a practice squad guy to compete with Malik Jefferson and Neiman for that last spot. But probably not, in my opinion. But who knows? Let's take a look at his stats in NCAA here. He is not really a pass rushing linebacker, but can be. 1 sack his first season, 1.5 second, and 4 both of his last years. So, Ty Summers, I like the signing. I believe he is 29 years old. will be turning 30 at the end of the season. And I really do like these roster moves. It's unfortunate. Antoine Green is back on the Detroit Lions, by the way. He passed through waivers, like I said. Ron Gilbert will probably be back on the Lions again tomorrow as well once he passes through waivers. We also signed a line. I forget if I talked about this or not. We also signed another linebacker. He was on the Vikings just a couple of days ago. He's not popping off my top of my head. The reason why I'm not making a major impact in this video about him is because he's literally just a camp body. I don't have him making the 53-man or practice squad. He played well in college, but never played in the NFL, essentially in a regular season game. So that's why I'm not really making a big deal of that signing. But leave your thoughts, comments down below. Prayers up to Antoine Green, Ron Gilbert. Leave your thoughts, comments down below. What do you think these signings could impact the Lions? Do you think Jake Fromm is better than Nate Sudfeld? Will make it over Nate Sudfeld? Do you think Ty Summers has a chance to make the team over Neiman or Jefferson? And do you think Essang Bassey has a chance to make the team? Leave your thoughts, comments down below. One Pride, go Lions.